Die visual goods. Die visual goods.
Yo, man. We back with another episode of Goat Talk. This time we here with Miss Jessica.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. I'm glad. Good to have you in today. So we're gonna pretty much get straight into it. So first of all, introduce yourself. Let them know what you do, and then we'll get started.
All right, well, my name is Jessica Gabrielle, and I'm a singer, songwriter. I'm a mom and a pre-K teacher, and all in one.
Ooh, ooh, that's a
Thanks.
rough schedule.
I ain't lied, it is.
It's rough. So okay, so I guess we're gonna pretty much get into it. So what was your earliest memory of you singing that you can remember? Like,
Mm, um, I was in seventh grade. I'm a military brat, so I went to school in Charleston, and they was just beginning to open our school to a an all art school. So first talent show, I did it with my best friend, and we sung Rihanna and Mary J. Blige a cappella, and we actually ended up winning that year too. So that was the
okay,
first real memory. Yeah.
okay. So after that, it just made you say, you know what? I think I want to do this full time. Like, try to do it. Like, get to do it.
No, not at all. So I want to say I was like 12, around that time. So we moved to Italy and then we moved to the Middle East. And that's where I was actually introduced. I've been dancing my whole life. I've been dancing more than singing ever. Um, went overseas in the Middle East. The Teen Center actually had a little setup on GarageBand for us. I want to say IMAX was just coming out with their laptops then. That was the only thing that we all really had to entertain ourselves. We was in the desert too, so that was the first time. And I had a teacher there, a guy there that was supervising us, and he actually recorded me with Marvin's Room, Drake Marvin's Room. That was my first recording.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one to record off of first
And
too.
I'm like, yeah.
So, dancing. Like, what type of dancing were you doing? Was it like how like cheerleaders type dancing, or is it like
Classical. So I did ballet, tap,
okay,
jazz,
okay,
African, hip hop.
okay?
Like, and it wasn't until I was in 12th grade, my career practicum class, they allowed me to sponsor children and have my own dance team. So that was different for me.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
So how do you feel like the traveling influence? Do you feel like the traveling influenced any of your music? Besides, I know when you traveled to, I think you said the Middle East is when you kind of really started getting into the singing. Whenever the guy recorded you, but do you feel like the travel had any other effect on your life regarding to the music anyway?
Yes, being able to travel young like that too, just appreciating what others did have and didn't have. I knew what I would want in my adult life. I guess with seeing the world so early, so I knew what to expect. Now when I came back to the States, I know what I want to get back to.
Okay, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
good. Okay, so how did you get to the point where you're at now? How did you get into the music? Like, where you released it on all platforms, things like that. Like, what what was the turning point that made you actually physically start putting songs out to the public?
I was actually in a relationship and I was managing his career. It was easier at the time to do things for other people than myself. um, I was in Florida at the time, and we moved to back to South Carolina, and I bought my first microphone. It took that relationship, I would say, to for me to find another outlet. Didn't really feel heard too much around then. So
Oh,
bought my first little mic. Got on BandLab, I want to say, and used SoundCloud like no tomorrow, and started uploading from there. Um,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So what do you feel like are some of like your biggest influences as far as the music? Like,
Anita.
whether it be actual artists or whether it be like even family
Okay. Anita Baker, because Mama cleaned up every Sunday too.
Hey,
Um,
that's right.
I kid you not, it probably still the CDs in her car right now. The first song I know will probably come over, but clean up to that. My dad did band out here in Mullins when he went to school, but he always had soundtracks. The Lion King, it used to annoy the hell out of us, but the Lion King soundtracks, Aladdin. I love Ray Charles. My favorite musical group back in the day was the Temptations.
Okay.
So he kept me around that. He was definitely more broad with all types of music.
Okay.
If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that I feel like that's always a good thing. The more broad you are, the better it is for when you focusing on whatever you focusing on because now you might take a little piece of something else and kind of
Mhm.
import it into what you're doing, and now you make it your own. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how would you describe like the how would you describe like your style, the way you craft your music? Like how would you describe it? Like not necessarily comparing it to another artist, but like how would you how would you say that you are as far as your singing style?
Mm. Uniquely free, and not to compare myself to another artist, no, but I idolize Lauren Hill a lot, and that's just because she was unapologetic. Um, her music was different. India Irie was different, and just embracing themselves in their music is what I heard the most. So that's where that came from. It's a tad.
Okay, that's
Um,
actually two pretty good choices right there.
thank you.
Um, so do you try to like portray or do you try to tell like any kind of stories or give out any kind of messages in your music?
So I do not write unless I have a purpose, if that makes sense. And that could just be life going on. I could hear someone else's problems they're going through, or I'll watch the news. I'll go online, look at the news, and just yes, just try to tell the story, whether it's about myself or someone else or not. I'll just piece it together like a puzzle and make it make sense, and try to paint the pictures with my words.
Okay, okay. So so I'm guessing is Jessica Gabrielle is that like your actual name or is that
Yes, my
okay?
first and middle name. First and middle name.
Okay. Yeah, I know some people would do that, and then some people they'll create a name that's not actually their name to use as a stage name for when they're doing the music. So
I couldn't find nothing that stuck, and I'm one of a kind, and there ain't nobody else got that name, so I don't want last name too with it. So
that's
so,
just hey, that's the most important thing. As long as you got it to where nobody else got it, and you don't have to worry about when you start making money, people owning your music or anything like that because the name is under. So,
absolutely.
but okay, so what do you feel like is your most, I guess you could say, most famous song, the song that got the most traction, the most views, the most likes?
Hmm. It's two of them right now. I'm trying to play it safe and figure people out with it. But it's Good Morning, How You Doing? And Breadwinner were my two strong ones so far.
Now that's I
You
feel
got
like
anything for me?
just the, just me listening to the names, that's telling me like two different stories because you
Mhm.
said good morning, how you doing, and breadwinner.
And Breadwinner.
Okay, so now you got to tell me the story behind both of those. I got to.
uh, Good morning, how you doing? That song's basically how our relationships are starting off nowadays. When the internet kicked off, that seems like that's everyone's punchline to get somebody or just to start a new relationship. So it always starts with that good morning text or how are you doing text, and it's up to either one of us to either go left or right with it. But in that span of time, I'm gonna let you know who I am, show you what I'm about, and you can either take it or leave it.
Hmm.
Um, and Breadwinner is about moms, dads, anyone that has a goal and that's driven. And at the end of the day, we all just want to take care of our family. So whoever the breadwinner is, it could be anybody. As long as you get into the bag, that's all that matters. And doing
Oh,
whatever is necessary to get to it.
okay. That sounds like my type of song right there, breadwinner.
I think you'll like it. I got a
Yeah.
guy from I got that's my first feature too from a guy that's on that one. So
Okay. Okay.
it's a stretch.
So since you just mentioned features, so what do you want to like? Do you have any other artists that you want to feature with? Like, did you want like them to feature on your song, or you feature on their song, like this local or whatever, or somebody that you just know of?
Um, I'm all about women empowerment. It's these twins that are influenced, two popping twins. I love their music. I adore their music actually. Um, no, not necessarily. Other than working with more females, all of South Carolina, I try to extend that because we're already slept on and overlooked. So coming together means a lot. So I will often make it. my duty to share it to all the soccer line. Like y'all just join. But it's hard to get everyone to work too at the same time at your pace too. Not everyone's on the same pace or
Right, right.
life alone. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially the people of our color, you see too much negativity and too much beefing and things like that. Instead of people coming together to create some big.
Yeah, big, exactly. Come together
Um,
to dominate.
that's right. That's right. That's right. So, okay. So, if somebody like wanted to reach out to you to get you to be on their song or anything like that, like how would they go about getting in touch?
Um, I have my email posted on majority of all my social medias. But through email they could DM me. I
Okay.
do have a feature fee, just to not sell my shelf short, but also reasonable.
Mhm.
But it's really just as simple. I'll have a turnaround date. They just have to let me know their details, and I'll do my best with it. With being a teacher, it could be hectic, but I do try to balance it all for everybody.
Yeah, especially the pre-K teacher. That's
Yes,
yeah,
and
yeah. So you probably need a little bit more prayer when you get.
yes, but they just love, they adore me though. As far as singing, they're very supportive of me, surprisingly, 40-year olds. So and
That's
I
good.
love
That's
them.
good. Every I always tell people every little bit of support matters. I don't care if it's the
Mhm.
smallest person. I don't care if it's the biggest person. Every little bit
Mhm.
matters. That might be that extra little motivation you need to push it forward. In.
Absolutely. And you'd be surprised who it comes from.
That's right. That's right. Because most of the people that support you are strangers.
Hmm.
Anyway, so what do you feel like is the hardest thing about being a singer, and what do you feel like is the best thing about being a singer?
I'm being all the way honest, because I'm struggling with it now. But finding other studios and just me getting the job done. I wait for my engineer to come from Atlanta, and that's just because professionalism, and that's just where I'm currently at. I just got to travel, but that is what I'm struggling with things being fair across the board with men and women, if I could say that in a respectful way. Um, I wouldn't say negativity so much because that stems from how confident you are in yourself. And words do hurt, and I know people judge me and all this, and as far as what I do, because I'm pretty I am unapologetic about it, but to fear is something that I do not tolerate. But that social media can be hard. People are just cruel.
Mhm.
Being hard on yourself, especially you set those expectations, you wanna better yourself. So that just wanting to be great and just the goals that I set for myself, that could be hard. And balancing life alone, just alone.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The balancing life thing is probably one of the hardest things I would say outside of being able to consistently do it financially because
Hmm.
a lot of times people don't understand like how much money it really takes to be a music artist. Regardless of either if it's the promotion, regardless of it's shooting the videos, getting the instrumentals, getting the studio time, whatever the case may be, all of it is pretty much expensive. So,
Absolutely. You
um,
definitely want to put in more before you receive. So if you can understand that and have fun with it, it'll work out. But yes, I agree.
definitely, definitely. So, what do you hope that people take away when they hear your music? Like, what do you hope they get from
Mm. Peace. I want to be able to take your mind away from your troubles that you're going through, or be able to relate to me. Um, Yeah, that's about it. Oh, she's confident, or she's an all around girl, or I can hear her pain in that
it? Yeah,
nature.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, because you definitely like anytime you can, somebody can feel something when they hear your music, they're more than likely to come back to it again because it makes them feel a certain type of way, or they feel your pain, or they feel the words that you're saying and things like that because
Mhm.
maybe they've been through something like that or whatever. So
Didn't couldn't find the words to say it at the time. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So okay. So what do you like? Where do you see yourself with the music in the next 5, 10, or even 20 years with the music?
I just asked myself that yesterday. Um, Hopefully, I wanna center where I can teach children how to write music. So this is not to become famous off of. to inspire my daughter to chase any goals that you have as a young kid, because you can make it happen, especially if that's what you want to do, you can do it. Um, but most importantly, just
Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. I mean, a lot of times, people don't want the fame. They kind of just, want to be able to do the music and then, receive the funds and be able to just continue to be able to do it full time. But a lot of times when you start receiving the funds, that fame gonna come with it anyway. Because
absolutely, yeah, you do got to be careful what you ask for. My main thing, I guess, is to be heard. And then once I guess my career goes further, I will express more as to why I do what I do. The drive that I wake up to every day. Some days I don't know how I keep going with it. So as long as I can keep inspiring, I'm not gonna stop.
okay. That's the best thing. That's the best
Mhm.
thing. So, what advice would you give up and coming singers, like, or young, or even younger people, maybe teenagers that want to get into singing full time?
Because now that I'm 29, I could have did this 8 years ago. But it was important for me to find myself. You spend your 20s after you graduate high school and all that. You really don't know what you want to do. And I done went through about 4 or 5 different type of careers until I realized that this is something that comes natural. I don't have to work hard at it. But find yourself first. You got to love on yourself first to understand your true purpose and why you're here. So once you do that, then you'll be unstoppable. Nobody can't tell you nothing about yourself. Mainly loving on yourself first, because I'm a dark skinned girl from South Carolina. I'm country, and once I learned how to love myself correctly growing up, because I struggled with that before, um, I was able to be the woman that I am now today. So
Yeah,
things you got to accept and overcome, most
yeah.
definitely.
I understand that. So what keeps you motivated to make the music? Because I know it can be an everyday grind trying to live your regular life, then try to still do the music too. Like, but you gotta have something that keeps you wanting to keep doing the music. What is that?
um, hmm. Singing for a little girl that didn't have a voice. So um, days I don't even feel like singing. I just get up and do it. So I want to say that's God. That's the God in me. Trying to save a little girl who just didn't have a voice. So now it's almost like I can't stop once I found it.
Okay. So do you feel like sometimes you're singing to your younger self?
hmm And I just want to give her what she did. Although I was a military brat and I was blessed with a lot, I wasn't able to speak a lot of my feelings growing up. My dad was a lieutenant and whatnot, so it is a little different back then. But I wasn't able to express, so I just want to make sure I can be heard now.
Right, right. Nah, I understand. I definitely understand that. Um, so how are you able to maintain your I guess you could say work life balance, work life balance with music, work music life balance, how you want to call it. How do you maintain it? Because I know it's, especially doing what you do, being a full time mother, then doing a full time job as a pre K teacher, which is
Mhm.
another handful, and then trying to still do the music at the same time, still shoot videos, go to the studio, and all that type of stuff.
Mm. Well, as far as that, I'll record myself if I can't wait for my engineer to get here and just with time with that. But mainly weekends. My job kind of works out because it's Monday through Friday, so I dedicate my weekends to my daughter and to my music. Trying to balance it. I honestly I don't know how, because sometimes I put more work on myself than I can handle. One week might go smooth, the next week might not. But just trying to catch opportunities that make sense. As long as I don't hop on everything that's going to waste my time or money that's just not beneficial. I make sure I just don't go out my way unless it makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely
That,
understand that.
yeah.
I definitely understand that because I'm doing a lot right now, trying to balance it myself. I got $3. Trying to
Uh,
balance it and then do the music, do the music, record music videos, do the artist interviews, and do the podcast.
mhm.
It's just so much I'm trying to do that it's just hard to balance everything. You sometimes you think of like, hey, maybe I should let one of these go. You know what I mean?
My best advice that I often need to remind myself to write everything down. We be on go as it is, so you just write it down, start to finish. I got my vision board behind me of everything that I could possibly think of and imagine possibly what I would like to do in 365 days. So and I look up 3 months from now and I realize that I'm knocked off 6 things.
Yeah, yeah. What I try to do is I just try to make sure because I'm more of a like a time person, so I like to have everything scheduled ahead of time instead of like doing
Mhm.
last minute things and stuff. So like if it's not on my schedule, most likely it's not getting done for the most part. So that's,
Gotcha.
that's what I like to try to do. That's why I try to use the little calendar thing or whatever. But
It helps too. I might need to try that for sure.
yeah, definitely because I talk to you about that. But anyway, um. So between doing the music and being a mother and doing a pre-K, like what do you do outside of that that you like to do for fun, like outside of the music?
Play basketball.
Oh, you who?
Yeah, I used to play on the
Man, you
teams.
can't you can't hoop, man. You can't,
Laker fan, come on.
you can't hoop.
Laker fan.
Okay. Yeah, they won last night against the
All
Bucks.
right, I know that's right, as they should.
You know had 44. Lord, but yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So you
I don't really do much and watch Law and Order. The weekends be gone so fast.
now, hold on. Which one of the law orders you watch?
SUV, I be.
Oh, okay.
All weekend.
Yeah, okay. I had to make sure now. SBU, that's the one now. You can't, you know.
Gotta catch Ice-T with his few lines. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. That's the oldest one and the best one still.
Yes.
But okay. So like, how do you deal with like any kind of trolls or haters, anything like that? Because we all have them. Even if we don't really pay them attention, like we all have them, whether it be on the internet, whether it be, around our city or whatever.
You gotta kill people with kindness. Um, and realize people be either fighting their own demons or just miserable and miserable. Misery does love company. Let's kill them with kindness because off the time you don't even be the problem or you're not who they mad at. They mad with themselves.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's the or no. And with me, I block real quick. So, so I don't even. I try
Hey,
not to.
yeah, you already play basketball, block game strong.
Face it.
That's the best way to be though. Like, so with that being said, like, is there any like, maybe rumor or something that people saying about you that you want to make clear, like right now, and that you want to say, like, hey, this, people saying this, but this ain't true or whatever.
No,
Okay.
because I really don't hear nothing. To tell you the truth, I'm really low key. What I will say, I did a show in Somerville, South Carolina last year, and when I went back to look at the comments, it was just being called names other than black.
Oh man.
Because that was the first in their city, I guess. But just because I know it's different and anything that's different, new to people is going to make them uncomfortable at first. So I just put it in their face till they like it. You can either take it or you ain't got to watch it or you ain't got to support. But just staying true to myself and knowing what's going to work for me doesn't work
Right.
for everybody else. So.
Right. Yeah, that's the best. I mean, that's definitely good advice that a lot of people need to take because a lot of people be worried about other people instead of themselves. So
Mhm. You spend so much time in that, it takes away from everything. So that's when you lose yourself.
that's right. So is there something that people would be surprised to know about you? Like for example, like the last artist I had on here, he's a guy, he's probably like 24. And his thing was people would probably be surprised that you know how to cook. So like what would be your thing? Like if people be surprised they knew about you. Other than basketball, because they know that now.
I eat ketchup on on my rice. Wait a minute.
On your rice, you said?
My rice is still as from a little kid. My mom said that's how they could only get me to eat foods like
That's
that. So
that's a little different right now. I don't think I ever heard anybody with
I
that
want
one.
to do it like on everything. Anything you could think of, soul food plate. If I got rice and some beans with it, it's definitely going on top of it.
Okay, yeah, that's a different one. Like I said, I don't think I ever heard anybody say
No,
ketchup on rice. And I knew it was gonna be so crazy because you started laughing before you even said it. I was like, oh, yeah, this gonna be something crazy. Okay,
Um,
that's interesting
no,
though.
other than where I lived at, that always catches people off guard too when I do tell them or where
Yeah.
I've traveled to. Other than that, mm-mm.
So, like, what does a typical day look like for Jessica Gabrielle?
My typical daily life.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up at 5. I might write a few lyrics, get ready for work to be there at 7, 7:30, and stay there till about 5, 6 o'clock. Get home, cook for baby girl, get her washed up. We play. I read to her. I'm really big on that because anything that you read before you go to bed, you remember the next day. But just yeah, just dedicate all that time. I really don't have much time to myself unless it's in the mornings or late at night.
Okay.
It's a typical day. Though.
Okay.
It's boring. I'm around children all day.
Yeah, that's a well at least you only come home to one every day versus you already every day you around probably 12 or 15 and then you come home to only one.
Only one. Yeah, it's rewarding though.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Gotta let the kids.
Absolutely.
Um, so do you like? So what's up? What's new? What you got coming out? Tell the people what's up. What you got? You got an album coming out or something? What you got?
Oh, that's the thing. I don't know if I want to put out another wishful thinking. I've already put out 2 EPs so far. The videos was my main thing. Because last year I did not have any visuals, so just trying to see people. Well, trying to get people to see where I'm going with things. So maybe 2 more videos this year. I got a show in April, an interview in April,
Okay.
2 videos, and maybe another project. Most likely in September, October.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I need to come back to South Carolina. I've only been there one time. I need to come back there. I need to try to find me a couple artists that want some videos shot, and I can come up there and shoot a lot of videos for some artists.
Most definitely, I'll point you out to a few people, some dope artists out here for real. What part did you come to when you came?
I came to North Charleston.
Okay, okay. Well, that's where my mom is at, so that's dope. I know some people out
Yeah, I came there. We had a show that was February 2022.
there. Okay.
I think it was, or either February 2023. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But okay. So like, it's like what your last. So you said wishful thinking, right? Was the 2 EPs that you dropped?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a certain like I know you got a certain meaning behind each song, but is there a certain meaning behind like why you started the wishful thinking EP?
Mm, the f- yeah, because everything that I could hope and wish for, at one point felt like I wasn't gonna be able to get it.
Mm.
So I just began to, if I could seal it up in 7 to 8 songs, that's what I attempted to do indeed. And each project is actually a progression of my career. The first one I recorded, did my best to mix and master it myself, and then the second one I put out last year in September was done the right way, mixed and recorded in the studio and all that. That took a lot to do it the right way, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I engineer as well, and it's doing a whole project is kind of crazy. Trying to
Mhm.
engineer the whole project, mix and master it. Um, thankfully, I don't know how to make beats. Oh my god, I wouldn't even want to try to do that.
It's definitely a whole nother world, and I don't know. Power to those that can do that and be an artist at the same time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So they save a lot of money, but it just seems like it's too nerve wracking trying to do all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um, so do you have like a certain creative process as far as like how you come up? Because I know you said you don't write your song until you have a purpose, but like how do you like when you get that purpose? Like when that thought comes in your head, how do you convert that thought into lyrics? Like what is your creative process to do that?
So I always start with the chorus. I catch the melody first, or I'll hum it first, and allow the words to find me. Now, as far as subjects, it could be how I'm feeling right then and there, or it could just um, mm, be something that I watched on TV, and I just pick a scenario and wrap the song around that. I try to think of it as me building a sandwich, but I definitely start with my melodies first, and
Okay.
then go from there.
I like that the way you explained it, the building a sandwich. I've never heard anybody explain it that way.
Mhm.
Pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Um, so have you ever had writer's block?
Yes, currently was in one as of 3 weeks ago. I put my project, so I have not recorded wrote since last August. Put the project out September, and I was just trying to feed off of the and actually enjoy the EP. So I was trying to figure out what songs everybody like, what visuals to go with. But for the life of me, and that just because maybe my life just wasn't at a point where it made sense for me to start my story or whatever I was trying to tell and complete it. So I'll wait if I have to wait a month, I'll wait, and then most days I wake up and now it'll come right to me, and I'll just start writing ridiculously, and that's what bothers me the most is that when it finally comes to me, that pen doesn't stop, but it just takes a while depending on
So you just kind of
the.
like you just kind of wait it out until it just comes, pretty much. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. And it could be the beats. I love Afro beats, acoustic beats, soulful. So that too is the main thing. I'm only able to find one or two um people that can actually have my style of beats. So that's a hassle too.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. What do you feel like is the best advice that anyone has ever given to you related to the music, anyway?
Relate to the music. Okay. Other than staying true to yourself, and being confident. And that just stems from because the world is just evil in itself. And I feel like you got them two things, you're gonna be all right in this industry. And it takes a lot to get there alone, so that's why.
Yeah, I understand. Trust me, I understand that. Um, so have you done any shows, like any performances or anything?
Only I started off doing weddings. That was my first shows, and then one in Charleston that I did. So no, this year will be this is my year to get on the stage. So I'm excited.
Okay.
Just three so far.
Okay. So how did you like that very first time that you sung in front of a crowd? Like how did that feel? Like when your first wedding, I should say. How did that feel?
Amazing. I was singing as if nobody was in the room, for one.
Right.
And that surprised me because I was nervous. But as soon as I opened my mouth, I tend to forget what's going on and just focus on that. The one in Charleston was different too because it was different. It was a mixed crowd. But they reacted very nicely to my music, so that always shocks me because I know my music is a little bit different. But the
Yeah,
reaction.
it is, but this one thing I feel is it's a lot easier to sell somebody on a singer than it is on a rapper.
Mhm.
Because just everybody is just not rappers, not their type of tea, but everybody loves singing. Like somebody that can sing, everybody loves it. I
Mhm.
mean, so I feel like as a singer, it's easier to sell your voice to a group of people versus it is for a rapper.
Agree.
Um, okay, so like what let me see. What do you feel like has been your favorite moment of your career so
Mm. Putting my EP out. Because I gave people hell about me recording myself. I was the one that was like, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I had to understand why it needed to be done the right way so that I can broaden it so that it can reach other ears outside of what I was trying to do. So that felt really good. The time that I put in for it, 6 months, I believe. So that felt good. And now I can see where I would like to go the next year to 5 years from now. So that was an achievement for sure.
far? Okay, cool. What like do you have like any kind of like merchandise or anything like that?
No, I don't even know what I would get into. Something probably for locks. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, but no.
That's different though. I don't know any artist that's got anything for luck. So that would be like the
Hair
first.
products, baby. But no. Mm-mm. all this is still so new to me, so I'm just excited to even talk about that. You never know.
So how long I didn't ask this question earlier, I should have. So how long have you like when was it you put your very first song out? Like what year or date or whatever that was that?
April. I just checked it today. 'Cause I figured you asked, but April of 2021.
Oh, okay. So it's only been 3 years. Just right at 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
So I'm trying each year. I'm trying to take it a step further.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it. You got to be better than your last version of yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um. So I'm guessing all your music is on all platforms online.
Yes, it is. So you can get it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube for those that don't have those. But yes, on all platforms.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Just gotta make sure so the people that's watching know so they can see whatever and hear a little bit of it. Um. Okay. 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 Is there anything else you like to share with the people?
Go check out my video, Thief in the Night and Good Morning. That was about a month ago, but just look forward to more dancing and just me sharing more about myself so that everyone can understand me as an individual. But I look forward to the year. That's gonna be a dope year for sure.
Okay. Okay. So
That's about it.
one last thing before I let you get out of here. Go ahead and sing a little something for them on the spot.
Okay. I'm gonna do melody, a part of melody. Melody, push me to the side, then you notice me. Just put off a lick, feeling low key, another key. I hope you hear me. I don't do this shit for fun, for my little seed. Bye, hater. Ain't got time, hater. Said you looking for me, baby. It's gonna be later, be later. Help me stream another song, I'ma be greater. Yeah. That's it.
That's good. I like it. I like it. I like it. I
Thank
definitely.
you.
But yeah, so about out of here, he was just like, "Dang, she went good. You went good."
Oh, thank you.
But okay, so that's pretty much all that I got for you today. Hopefully, the next time that we sit down and do an interview, we can be in person, whether that be me up there or you down here, just to, you know what I mean, get the vibe. Because I got something, a new platform I'm getting ready to start, and I would love to have you on there. That would be a great vibe to have you on there. So,
Absolutely. I'm down with it.
okay, okay. Okay, well, I'll let you get to it. I know you got a busy schedule. I definitely
Thank
appreciate you
you.
coming on and having this goat talk with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. And thank you everybody for watching.
Well,
Y'all just watch another episode of Goat Talk with Miss Jessica Gabrielle.
till next time.